Welcome back to the Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life video podcast. This is your host, Life Coach Myrna Young, and I want to talk to you today on 5 minutes with Coach Myrna. So today I want to teach you on the topic, how to improve yourself. And I got this content from a book by Jim Rohn that I read recently, and I thought that I want to share it with you because, we should be improving ourselves every single day. One of the things that I absolutely live my life on is the word "can," which is constant and never-ending improvement. If you are a regular listener on the show, I talk about books. I read a lot of books, and that is one of the ways that Jim Rohn says that we can improve ourselves daily. So I want to share this information with you today. And the first thing I want to let you know is you don't have to change what's on the outside. All you got to do is change what's inside of you. To have more, simply to become more. And Jim Rohn says, don't wish for it to be easier, wish that you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Start working on improving yourself by making these personal changes. And I guarantee you, you will start to improve yourself. So here's the secret. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Isn't that amazing? That's one of the things that we do. We work hard on learning our job. We work hard on trying to get that promotion. We work hard on selling. We work hard on whatever we're supposed to be doing at work. But don't work on personal development. So Jim Rohn says the secret is to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And he says, once he figured that out, his life turned around. He went on to add, if you work hard on your job, you're going to make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you will make a fortune. How many of you want to make a fortune? You just don't want to make that paycheck, how many dollars an hour you get, because it's limited. Everybody now is, in personal development and selling courses where you create like a 2-hour webinar or something and make thousands of dollars on it. So yeah, that's what he's talking about. When you work on yourself, you make a fortune. He said when he was 25 years old, if someone had told him that that hard work doesn't pay off, he would have said that they're a liar, because he was the guy that worked hard. He came in early and he left a little bit late. Does that sound like you? But what I'm trying to tell you today is that you need to work harder on yourself than you do at work. Work hard on developing the skills. Work hard to develop the graces and all the stuff necessary to become more valuable in the marketplace. And your whole life will explode into change. Hey, you want promotions? No problem. You want to become more valuable to the company? No problem. You want more money? No problem. You want more economics? No problem. Your future will be no problem. But you got to go working on the right thing. Your brain, your thoughts, right? That's what you got to work on. And he says, don't try to change the seed. Don't try to change the soil. Don't try to change the sunshine. Don't change the rain. Don't change the mix of the seasons, because everything works together for your good. You can't circumvent the seasons. We all know that, hey, after winter comes the spring, and then the summer, and then the fall. That's exactly how it works, right? So you can't circumvent anything. Let the miracle of everything that's available work for you, and start working on your inside. Work on philosophy, work on your attitude, work on your personality, work on your language, work on the gift of communication, work on all your abilities. And if you start making these little personal changes, I guarantee you, everything will change for you. Let's pick one of these, your personality. It's a big one. They're saying that the personality comes to feed the purpose, right? So you can have a great magnanimous personality and charisma and all that, right? And that will be guiding you in a certain, future and a certain job. But hey, if you find yourself a bore, you can work on your personality. It is a skill that you can develop. Even though some people are born with it, you can develop it. So that's what he's saying. Work on your personality, work on your language, how you speak to yourself, how you speak to other people. The gift of communication is important in every single thing you do. And then he says, success is something you attract by the person you become. Success is not something you pursue. So the whole key to unlock all the treasures, whether it's economic treasure or spiritual treasures, financial treasures, social or personal treasures, every way you can possibly think of it is through your own personal development. And then he added one more thing, and it's probably worth the weight in gold. And here is it. What you become is more valuable than you are today. Obviously, we're working on improving ourselves. We're not trying to go backward, right? We're trying to go forward, right? And he said, is you become more by the books you read. You become more by the thoughts you have. If you want the things on the higher shelf, you've got to stand on the books that you read. You get that? Read a lot of books, and then you can stand on it, right? It's just like, if you're a Christian, you stand on certain scriptures, right? You make them part of you, part of your language. And that's what happens when you read books, right? They're going to be teaching you something, and then you stand on the words in the book. Every book that you read, you get to stand a little higher, so you can get the things on the higher shelf. What's on your higher shelf? Do you want to be the director of your company? Do you want to be like Tim Ferriss and have a 4-hour work week in some exotic country, where you wouldn't have to work for 4 hours a week, and you're able to support yourself? What's on your higher shelf, right? You're going to have to read a book or take a course or do something in order to get there. So every book you read, every podcast like this one that you listen to, every seminar that you attend starts changing your philosophy, starts changing how you think, right? Now, if you're excited and you're ready to change your lifestyle and improve yourself, here are the steps. First thing Jim Rohn says is you need to find out how things work. The first key to doing better and improving yourself is to find out how things work, right? So let's say that you have a blog, right? And you know that blogging is one of the best ways to improve sales of whatever you're selling, right? But in order to blog and be successful, you got to figure out how it works. You got to figure out the keywords. You've got to figure out the SEO. You've got to figure out how to market it. You've got to figure out how to bring people to your blog. You got to figure out maybe Google Ads. You got to figure out how things work, right? You got to figure out marketing. Big, big thing. And if you can't figure it out, then you need to hire somebody that already knows. But you got to figure out how things work, right? Because you need ideas. Oh my gosh. Ideas is so big. How many of you are sitting around thinking, you know, I want to become an entrepreneur, but you don't know what to do. So you need ideas, and how you get ideas. The books you read give you ideas. Become a good reader, he says. All, and I mean all, you know, my pastor would say all means inclusive of everything, exclusive of none. All of the successful people are good readers because curiosity drives them to read. You need ideas on a new business. You need ideas to start something new. Now, you might go around thinking, I need money. No, you need ideas because somebody is going to tell you how you can go get that house with no money down. Somebody is going to tell you how you can go and get the seller to pay for your financing or whatever. Someone is going to tell you maybe how you can, you know, create something new for your business and sell it, right? That's what you get, ideas. So the lack of money is not a problem because an idea can teach you how to create money and wealth. So the problem isn't lack of money. The problem is lack of ideas. So if you get the idea, you can change anything. When you find out what works, you put that information in your journal. Jim Rohn says, don't use your head as a filing cabinet, right? Put it in your journal so you can do the next best thing and read it over and over again, because repetition, I think someone says, is the mother of invention, right? Repetition, go over it, and repeat it. And sure enough, someday, some mysterious day, that idea would take root, and then it shows up in your bank account, and then it shows up in your lifestyle. So yes, what have we talked about so far? Read books, get ideas. And then he says, study success. It leaves clues. Every single successful person that has written a book, they tell you how they became successful. So read about it, you know? Yes, because success leaves clues. And if you wish to be successful, study success. If you wish to be happy, study how people are happy. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. Don't leave it to chance. Make it a study. Some people go through the day with their fingers crossed. But no, that's not going to help you. You got to study the things that can change your economic, social, spiritual, and personal life. And finally, step number 4, learn, study, grow, change. It's what improving yourself is all about. Human development takes time, incredible amounts of time. It does take time for personal development. It does take time for spiritual development. physical development, mental development. So it's important to keep feeding the mind and nourishing the mind. That's where these books, that's where these podcasts, that's where these webinars come into play, right? So thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 5-Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. I hope that you were inspired today to work on improving yourself, because it pays big dividends in your personal development, in your bank account, in your happiness, in your fulfillment. It plays an important role in everything that you do. And hey, if you haven't followed Jim Rohn, follow him, because he was one of the first people in the personal development space. And he has left a lot of information that we can study, including me. So thanks again. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I would love for you to rate and review. If you're listening to this on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe, because I am back here every Fridays for 5-Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna, and I would love to see you back here again. Until next time, namaste.